Hello, we are back with Dead by Dawn here with Astraea on Killer. Um, we see survivors maybe early in the game rotating, trying to get to the outside of the map. Meanwhile, the artist is trying to just maybe spot other survivors out on rotation with Killer Instinct using the birds. We see a rotation maybe moving up towards the other side of the map, but our artist is going to be just very mindful about this choke in the middle of the map and making sure no one can cross while Corrupt runs its course to the other side. We do catch a survivor off with crows, and we hear them cleanse with the locker, but they are going to get a pal stun and maybe move back into the map. Our artist knows, though, that other survivors probably may have crossed in the meantime and is going to want to look and guard those gens on her side of the map that she spawned at.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just a pretty standard artist game plan. You really don't want to let people cross for free. We see survivors maybe tickling those totems a little bit, seeing if they can get some pressure. And now that we are finally committing a chase to the top side of the map, of course, as you talked about, the survivors are going to be crossing from the left side of the map. We need people bottom ASAP, especially with this crazy, crazy gen split, I guess. This is definitely a pretty annoying ARP gen split to have. There's almost all of the gens are towards bottom, but we actually already cleansed Ruin. That's gonna be very important because having Ruin run its course, especially if we get this down onto Shady early, it's gonna be so much free gen regression. Ruin is just such a pain to deal with because you not only have to deal with getting rid of the birds and dodging them, but then Ruin is slowly regressing those gens each and every single time. And now we have gotten our first down already, which was quite fast, I'd say, but we are kind of away from where we want to be. I mean, we're hooked all the way 11. There's not really any generators nearby, definitely not generators that are pressured. So we're going to have to see where the rest of the survivors are at the current time.
If survivors crouch during the bird fly, they will not have any killer instinct, meaning our killer will not maybe have info on them working on any gen in particular, but we do see survivor here most likely camping for bounce landing and goes off right before our artist is able to send off her crows. Running to inside of the map with all of the gens, our artist has to make a choice either to go for the tunnel out or to go for that survivor running in the 4 gen, but it looks like we have made our choice already. Pretty far away, the heal might be able to come off before we're going to get close enough, but maybe not as well. Looks like the Lara is the one who saved most likely. So we're gonna need to find our Claudette, and we do see a little bit of trails of blood around main. This is a little bit of a hard structure to run, pretty similar to Shack without the pallet, but if she is able to make this window, she's gonna go to another tile actually, a forward lane right next to main, and this looks like it is going to be a down after a little bit of a W key goes too far. Lara might be nearby playing for a pallet save, but it could be close, and our artist is going to swing out of the way just before the pallet's going to go down, successfully getting this pick and hook.
So unfortunate. And especially against artists, palette saves can be so important, especially since on a map like ARP, you kind of just get zoned sometimes. There's not that many tiles you can run to, which is obviously the preferred type of way you loop an artist, which is W keying to a next tile. But we saw Shady trying their absolute best, but Plus got the down quite early. And now we're in a bit of a predicament, even though the hook locations haven't been that great for artists. We're already on the second stage onto Shady, and there's only been one generator that popped. We see a little bit of pressure here on 8. There's probably a bit more pressure on other bottom gens, but we haven't really seen it, and they're not popping yet. So if we just get this tunnel out early, or even camp them to death, which is what we're obviously trying to go for right now, we're going to be going into the 3v1 quite early, and we actually catch the Safer off guard. This is too early, yeah, they're not going to be able to go for a trade. Oh wait, there's someone else here! Oh, it's just so bad. We get 3 different health states. We could even take a pain risk here, but Plus is just choosing to immediately go for this tunnel out because there's one injured survivor, another survivor on the ground. Survivors cannot be doing gens right now, and that when there's still 4 generators that need to be repairing. Okay, never mind, 3. I lied. But Shady is already back down. This is a really rough position for our killer player here, I guess.
A little bit of a miscommunication on our part. It looks like guarantees that the double pull does not go through exactly how we wanted it to. Lara is going to take the hit a little bit too early, getting caught off rotation, and Lara is going to go in right after it to take it. But just a moment late, as we see it goes for a trade and not for a pull for free. We have a down survivor, and we had knowledge that only one survivor at the time was working on generators because Lara and Laurie both injured. Very similar names right here I'm working with. Laurie is going to be found at this L wall, but it's not the strongest structure, especially to play against an artist. This could be a kind of quick down here, but maybe if she can jiggy a little bit, she could stay safe for a moment or two longer. This will be another Pain Resonance, but without any Ruin or without any Eruption that maybe would have replaced Ruin in this build, we will not have any otherwise regression on this build, other than Pain Res and our little natural gen kicks.
Yeah, I mean, that is always the danger with running these hex perks, especially when you're running only a single one that's not guarded by anything like Thrill or Undying or Penty. I mean, they give so much value while they last, but if survivors cleanse them so early, it's just a complete slot wasted. And especially on artists, recently we've been seeing some more new techs, stuff like Rapid, because a lot of survivors will force the M1. Like these perks can also give a lot of value. So I wonder if Plus is happy with his perk choices right now. But I honestly don't think it's mattered too much. I mean, we're setting up a bit of a slingshot towards the hook. We know that survivors are probably still towards the bottom side of the map, and they're not going to be able to go for the pull uh, that soon. I mean, there's still 3 generators left. I'm not entirely sure. Plus is completely happy just camping at least one extra stage here. We're not even sending our birds to the faraway gens as you would normally do. I mean, okay, we are starting that now. We have to get maybe just a little bit more info, but we are leaving the hook unguarded. I wonder if a survivor has snuck by to get the unhook for free completely. I mean, this is definitely well played by the survivors. The 3v1 is always so important, and especially since the survivors did a pretty decent job breaking the 3 and 4 gens at the start, I feel like we might still see a couple more generators popping in this 3v1. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, though. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that Laurie's cloak of invisibility had run out just in time for this play to happen, which is unfortunate because she was injured right in the killer's face. I'm not entirely sure what that was, but she does make it to a pallet. Maybe that's tenacity. Could be enough time for a save, but unfortunately, it looks like Nia is not close enough to be here. We got a little bit of separate hands value. We saw from our add-on here that Nia is still on this side of the map after that pull. Maybe stayed a little bit closer to double L wall, but we need to be careful that another gen doesn't pop as I say that it happens. But we have a second hook on our Lara here, wasting a little bit of time. Maybe we could have camped that one a second, but it should be okay if we are able to just keep the survivor in this 3 gen. I think our killer here is just playing for perhaps a 4K1 at this point, making sure the survivors don't get anything in this gen spread done, which is pretty ugly right here, going between top mid and the two at the other side of the map. We do know Survivor's working bot and just trying their best to dodge these crows, but at the moment we have no clue where Nia is, other than the fact that she may be working a top gen or lurking somewhere close by up here.
Yeah, I mean, this is so painful. With agitation, we're able to drag the hook all the way mid-map, and even though the generator on 8 is still kind of far away, the survivor is just constantly interrupted by the birds, not getting any progress. And especially considering a generator takes more time to complete than this entire hook stage, we're not going to be popping that bottom generator anytime soon. And Plus knows this, so he's taking some time to just commit back top, secure his free gen just a little bit more, since we did have quite a bit of progress on that. But now I wonder if we're gonna commit to getting our second tunnel out, which is effectively just gonna end the game because in 2v1 you can't really do much, obviously, or if we're gonna play for more pressure-oriented type of gameplay here, since we do still have 2 pain reses available, and we could always try to get a hook on one of the 2 progress generators right now. But actually, we let the top generator pop. Fern doing a good job in Chaser. We get a nice juke, and I think we make that check pellet. We definitely do, and we're completely unzoned there as well. We're going to be able to make mid-map. There's maybe a survivor available for a hit tank if we really need to make this chase last a little bit longer. And then, yeah, we still have pre-drop pallets. This is a lot of safety right now we have.
We do see a lot of negative value from our ruin here. We see a lot of gen popping topside where we could have had eruption plays. We see a lot of chases that we maybe could have ended a little bit faster with that brutality, but unfortunately our artist ruin got cleansed very, very early on into the game. At least securing that survivor had to go out and find it, but also making sure that survivor only had 3 perk slots in the mid game here. Laurie is going to barely dodge a swing here, and maybe it's just enough time for our survivors to finish a generator. This will not be a PR, meaning 20% regression. Survivors are doubling a gen and being very hasty about this. They are going to, oh my god, they're splitting. Meaning that the gens probably not get done in time.
I mean, yeah, this is dangerous. If we stacked, we definitely would have popped. And I feel like in a lot of scenarios, you could still pop, even in this 2v1, since the gens are so far apart, and we have both of them over, I believe, 50 or 60%. But the main issue is we still have a painters available. So if Plus just decides to commit to one of these chases and gets the downs fast enough, he might still be able to let those generators regress just enough and interrupt it. But this is still very much from done. I mean, I was just talking about the game being pretty much over once it reaches the 2v1, but that is absolutely not the case right now. Both survivors are healthy. The artist is a 110 killer, and it takes eons to walk all the way from run 1 back to 7 here. I mean, we're just seeing the issue. Both of these generators, that this one's over 75%. I don't think we're going to be able to stop that from popping forever. I mean, we're sending birds top in the prey that we can hit someone. We see scratch marks here. They're probably hiding edge map. Maybe they stuffed into shack. I'm not entirely sure where the survivor went. We do catch them off guard. They just barely make the window though, so we're not going to get this 2-tap and we're not getting them down fast enough. I think the top generator is going to be popping very, very soon.
Really just needs to make sure right now that this chase goes on for not more than the next 10-15 seconds, making sure that the gen doesn't pop up. Even so, both gates are this side of the map, I believe, right? So we can hold us pretty hard. The Nia has to come down here as well, and I think Laura realizes that and wants to take Chase up to the other side of the map. Both these survivors are fresh, meaning that a fresh out could spell just 9 stages for the game, but I think our killer knows that Nia is lurking to one of the gates down here, but maybe just a little bit early, and is also going to relieve Laura of her chase, letting both survivors go at the same time. Nia's stealthing at the other side of the map. Maybe they're going to go for a quick little reset, making sure that they will be able to get down the other side of the map safely, and one can take chase while the other one holds it.
Yeah, I mean, what we're seeing here is, it might seem kind of weird, but this is pretty much also a 50-50. I mean, you're more used to these 50-50s in chase, or you vault a pallet or you don't. But this was also kind of a 50-50 for the artist, because either Nia, Sonic, decided to just stealth top and wait to reset our injured survivor, or he already crossed bottom and was going to be able to open the gate. So either the artist goes top to stop the reset, and he always gets at least one down, and probably even both, or he stays bottom to look for Nia, and they got the reset here, which is really unfortunate. And now I think outs are very much on the table. I mean, we did hit a nice bird here. Duro dodging the second bird, though we didn't go for a shotgun, and we do have this pallet here for a little bit more safety. I hope Duro is going to be able to last quite a bit longer. Yeah, he's sending it away. Does not want to get hit by the birds, because all you have to do is make sure you're not a 2-tap Timmy, and yeah, Duro knows that. I mean, he's taking the hit, he's going top, plus realizes this chase lasted decently long, so he has to check up on the gate, and it's not open yet. Sonic is not out. He's going to be trying to stealth this, but we're right next to the gate. This is definitely a location that often will get checked and will get found, so Sonic is trying to make it as far away as he can. Good stealth movement here. We have a decently stealthy skin, which is helping us quite a bit. And our killer player actually choosing to leave this for now. He realizes he needs at least one of these survivors, because a 2k6 is very, very rough win con for Artist. That's not really what you want, but the 9 stages is definitely, I would say, above average and something you can be happy with. But we're still just struggling to get that right now.
It could be kind of hard here for Laura to go for a pull for the gate, but with balanced landing, it looks like Nia is actually just going to be making it right out. Yes, the gate is open, and both survivors look like they're out. Our artist here wasn't able to commit a survivor in time, and just seemed to have let both of them go out of the gate. Unfortunately, a 2k6 for our artist. Not a bad win con, but kind of a difficult one to keep for your team.
And yeah, absolutely amazingly played by both sides. I'm so surprised. It looked so killer favored at the start, but it's at some point in the 3v1 these survivors just switched on, they locked in, and they really just showed what they had to offer. So I hope that our other survivor team is going to be able to do the exact same thing, and that's why we're going to be going into a small intermission for just a couple of minutes, and we will see you after that.
Thank you guys for watching.
Welcome back, lovely ladies and gents. We are here with the second artist trial of this set. We are rocking quite a different build. I'm quite happy to see this. We see Rapid Noad on top of course, the standard Painters and Corrupt. Corrupt is, of course, just a little bit too important since you cannot let the survivors break your 3 and 4 gens too early, especially on a map like ARP, where those 3 gens are just so important. And actually catch a survivor a little bit off guard here on the TLs. This is a really unfortunate to be getting chased right at the start, especially since we do have Rapid, so we are now a 115 killer. We don't give them as much distance, and that Rapid, no way we get a hit again. That's a hit! That is such an early down, and we've actually taken this chase to the bottom side of the map, which is exactly where you don't want to be. Because this was a bit of a 4-gen bottom, I think, and we have a nice hill hook for the pain res as well. That is a great start for Dunnock.
This is a pretty disgusting early hook here happening for our killer. We have a survivor on a hill early, making sure that survivors who ever want to save have a pretty difficult time doing it. We caught a survivor off guard pretty early with rapid brutality. We were able to get the second down through an L wall at bottom part of the map. I think the survivors kind of maybe wanted to take chase down here so they could break the top side 3 gen, but I don't think they had really recognized how bad the bottom side gen spread was at the moment. Our artist here setting up a little bit of a slingshot, maybe trying to catch Trevor off guard who's rotating down, but um, we will be sitting here and maybe just sitting for quite a while, making sure they come down because they will have to come to her eventually. They do all the gens topside that will still need to be in her face in a few moments in order to break this gen spread down bottom, and we don't see any rotations at the moment, but maybe in a bit we can spot one out.
Yeah, very important to notice. Dunnock is, I think, definitely just going to play for WinCon here. We only need 6 stages with 3 fresh hooks, which is very doable, especially with this start. And since we do have Noad in our back pocket as well, we are just going to make sure Egwa goes to second stage here. But afterwards, we could even just start going for fresh hooks. We could start utilizing our pain reses. But right now, there's obviously no need for that, as the survivors, I reckon, don't have that much progress on bottom. They might have snuck on this gen on 7, but it doesn't look like it. I mean, I'm not hearing anything here. So I think they're just free splitting the top gens right now, and they're gonna make sure they tackle this bottom gen split later, which is gonna be super hard because, I mean, oh god, we don't even have that much progress top either. We're not popping the gens in time, and we still need to make sure we pull Egwa as well. This is just too many assignments on a little task list for our survivor team. This is really unfortunate because going into the freeview on this early is not really something we can afford. But it looks like it might actually be happening as all the survivors are just splitting gens right now.
I think this artist at the moment just realizes that all stars are stacking gens top and making sure this survivor just dies and kind of frees up the area down here because if the survivor's dead, then they got nothing to go for down here for the next few seconds. But the constant crows moving topside just makes sure that these survivors every 2 or 3 seconds have to get off their gens and do a little bit of a sidestep to make sure they don't get hit by crows. But we do see a gen pop bottom. Which I didn't even know was getting worked on, but it's fine because we still have a 4 gen down. We have a 3 gen down here. But unfortunately, I was not made aware of that. I guess I didn't notice that that gen was down there. But we will be able to get the hit this ace with crows, and maybe we are going to get a second hit off with our power, but it is just going to be very close and just a near miss. Ace looks like maybe is going to be taking a hit here, but wants a W key through most of this. Maybe getting hit with crows, but unfortunately, I think our artist wants to rotate back down bottom and protect these gens. But the spread is not looking as good as it was a few seconds ago. We see Survivor caught out, and maybe we can catch this Nia off guard here and get a quick little early hit, but looks like she was smart and pre-runs all the way to Shaq.
And yeah, just as you, I also didn't realize they were working the gen on 4, which is actually really changing our position here. I mean, that generator on 4 is quite important because this other gen split on the bottom side, it's not really that close. I mean, we have Shaq and this gen in the corner, but besides that, this middle gen usually has enough safety and you can make top pretty easily, especially since you have still these tiles, they still have some pallets, and we still have pretty much every single resource available on the map. But of course, that's not always going to give you much more chase time, especially against the artist. And we are getting this down on one of the more progress generators, which is quite unfortunate, even though we aren't getting our pain res. Pain res spawns are a little bit unfortunate. I think we have 2 of them like kind of edge map here on the top side, which we're obviously not interested in. Dunnock being nice and patient with the birds, does land it, and yeah, we don't even get the vault. It doesn't look like... Are we going for a slingshot or a shotgun? No, we are just going to take the M1 as the Dunnock comes through. And I mean, Dunnock is still in a pretty comfortable position here. We can even just commit this chase since we know there's not too much progress on the other generators at the bottom side, which I think is exactly what we're doing right now.
Our H just needs to make sure this chase lasts, though, as we hear another survivor is getting a gen working on over here. Pretty high progress. I think our killer just wants this to not pop as much as possible. We see all survivors injured. We know where all are. We saw Nia run maybe a little bit towards top side from that pallet. But we do just want it down pretty fast because the next survivor that we camp out all the way, and if we kill one right now, will spell out the winner, or at least a tie if it is the Nia who's already been hooked once. But if Jake here is hooked basement and camped to death, then that will be our win, I believe, for the killer here. Crows are going to hit, but unfortunately, the wall in the way, meaning it's not going to do a health state. Jake is going to be a little bit stranded on this side of the map, not having a lot to play with at the moment and getting zoned from the pallet. And it looks like this will be a down, maybe pretty close through the pallet, but no, just barely short. And I think our artist here just wants to play 50s and make sure this Jake gets these crows on him as fast as possible. We are maybe going to have this. Jen is going to pop out in the distance, but if this is camped out to death, it will spell the win.
I mean, yeah, this is such a good chase by Ghostly. This is absolutely what we needed. Both generators popping. And it's not even impossible here. I mean, we see the Noah totem. It is top. They could have maybe gotten on it soon. We'll see. Does this bird land? No, they sadly have not found the Noah totem, which means right now these survivors plus and not Ghost have once again a lot of assignments they need to complete. They need to get the Noah totem. They need to heal both of each other. They need to get a gate open, and all of this before Ghostly goes to second stage, because this second stage will spell the loss for our survivor side, because that will be 6 stages with too many fresh hooks. And I mean, yeah, we see survivors running around just a little bit too much. Like, they have to find the Noah totem. Once that totem is up, or as long as that totem's up, there's nothing they can do. And I mean, artists being artists, we're quote unquote camping this totem while we're literally in a different continent. And yeah, Plus just cannot do anything. He can't even do the totem. I think the only way you would get that totem done is having one survivor doing the totem while the other one is tanking the birds and dispelling them. But I mean, even that is just so far-fetched. We don't have the time, and I think Dunnock will just be securing the win for this first set, which is very well played.
Very well played from Dunnock, and a very nice game from these survivors as well, getting 7 stages, just a little bit short of their win con, unfortunately, but we will be back with the next sets in a few minutes here after a brief intermission. Hello, we are back with our second set of the day. A little Billy on the Buckeyes for the team, and we are going to start off this game real fast by going up to the top side. Just so we can find a survivor off rip. We have no corrupt on this build because Billy doesn't really need it. He can just travel up the map in 4 seconds with eerie engravings, and I believe that's a dad's boots. I don't know. And it's already we got a really fast town at the top side of the map. No PR on this set, so we are just going to need to find a hook in a safe spot. To guard our gens properly, and hopefully we can find those for our rotation. We do see one running down towards main, maybe just trying to get safety, but Ruin is going to be working overtime on this generator, and we just got to make sure that we keep the survivor pretty much intact.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the starts of all time. This is absolutely what you need on Billy, and I'm not sure we didn't really have any gen pressure yet, but we're already going for the trade, or the unhook, I guess, which ended up ending in a trade. This is really bad. I mean, we have some good perks active right now. We still have Ruin and Fanatophobia. We're just slowly getting our Fanata stacks up, and I mean, if we find that healthy survivor, we could always just choose to go for them at any point. We get a great cutoff here with the M2 anyways, and we're already getting the down. And we saw, actually, briefly, the survivor does not really have much of tunnel out. It's no decisive strike. We have no dead hard. So this is not the survivor you want going on the hook for the second time within, I believe, it feels like a minute. I mean, this is such a fast start. As I talked about, we still have all of our perks up. Survivors pre-dropping this pallet gym means we are just going to be going to try to zone it. Let's see if our survivor is able to juke this. Is no mither. And no, it doesn't matter. We're going down again. And I mean, even though this is no mither, we have wasted some time here. The survivor had to get off the gen. That gen's slowly regressing with Ruin. So we're still not going to be picking it, because this tunnel out is much more important than getting that one extra stage. on the No Miter player. So yeah, Sonic realizes that as well. He's going to be looking around, seeing if there's much more progress on these other generators towards the bottom side of the map. Maybe he can try to find whichever survivor was going for this stealth. And yeah, I mean, we're just slightly too late. We were maybe thinking about hooking that No Miter survivor anyways, since we don't expect anyone to get the unhook right now, but it doesn't matter. I mean, now we're going to be seeing some extremely interactive gameplay. The gameplay that makes the keyboard warriors in the pubs go to your Steam accounts and type 17 minus reps and type their whole life story about how you ruined their day. But sadly, there's nothing you can do here. This is comp, and we're going to be getting tunneled out on 5 generators remaining.
If our killer was observing here, we probably noticed that for the first like good minute of the match, there was no one working on generators. We got that down really fast. Then right after we got that down, another survivor had to come in during the pick during that second chase. So there was one survivor down, one getting chased, and there was one on hook. Meaning that there was like no gens moving at the moment. One maybe I think it was the one that just got finished up the top side of the map, but this one down here is getting slowly torn apart by Ruin, and Ace down here is going to go down very near it, making sure that this generator can be guarded by both the killer and the hook at the same time. Survivors are going to have to go for both, and the killer really has no reason to leave this area for the next few seconds, it would seem. If we are able to find someone off rotation, that would be great, especially if it was an emitter player, but we don't know Deli at the moment, and we don't know who could have it or who could be using it, which is one thing that we need to keep in mind. Maybe that was why our ace earlier was so keen on getting the unhook, even though it was pretty much just a trade.
Of course, we're just going to be committing this chase we find here. Actually, no, we're just merely going back. I mean, we don't want to give this pull. I feel like at this point in the free v1, you often have so many different options as Billy. Your chainsaw gives you so much mobility. You can choose to go back at any time. You can always try looking around the map, especially since Bloodlodge is such an open map. You have clear line of sight everywhere. So survivors have to make sure they don't accidentally get spotted while going for a rotation, because Billy could just be on top of them at any time. We saw both survivors being on gens right now, I think. And yeah, it looks like not Ghost will most likely just be going to the second stage while we try to pop at least this Shack generator. But I mean, the problem is this generator is just too close by. We could just commit this gen here, or commit this chase here. And oh, we actually get the unhook before second. That is quite important. Survivor sneaked by from the right side of the map. M1 not connecting because of a crazy auto aim here, and I believe that was Life. Egwa perfectly using that Z-wall to make more distance. We should be able to juke an M2 here and make another towel. Yeah, and Sonic realizes that, leaving, again, doing some nice micromanaging here, breaking the pallet while just crossing the map with M2, breaking some more pallets, and Ghostly probably won't make much. We do actually make the main window. That's just a little bit of an awkward curve to hit, and it's not really possible. Luckily, we do have BAM, so we're just gonna not play around main building, which this is the strong variant of main as well. But we try going back, but it's just too late. Survivors popping Shack before Sonic gets there in time. That is quite good for the Survivors right now.
Considering how early the 3-man came in, the Survivors have played this game pretty well, to be honest. Very hard to play this game in a 3v1, especially against a Billy who still has Varun up, still has so much bat mobility, and like all the pallets gone. Varun is going to be going down, but it just very well played from our Survivors so far. I do believe that our ace delied, which is why no one was really looking for the pull, but Jake here is going to go down just a little bit short, and it will be a hook. Once again, seemingly at the top side of the map where quite a few gens are. If we are able to find someone on rotation, we just heard a skill check or something, I believe. We could maybe find a survivor rotating and maybe make a move on that.
Yeah, Rune finally getting cleansed is quite important, but Sonic is completely ready for that, as we're also rocking Eruption. Actually, a pretty classic combo, running both Rune and Eruption. While it might seem a little bit counterintuitive, it means you're both set up for the 4v1, just being able to run around the map as much as you want and get free regression, but you're also completely ready and set up for the 3v1, where the game slows down significantly and you can play for your gen splits a little bit better. Survivor's doing a great job right now, juking a little bit. Nice crouch, but Sonic gets an insane body block. I don't think I've seen that often. That is so well played, and we're getting the down, and I think the hook does not come out in time. And Survivor's actually just trying to jiggy this gen. We're not even going for the unhook. And I think that might be because of the other perks we have available. Because Billy, while he is a strong killer, I believe in this rule set we have quite a lot of anti-slugging perks allowed. We see here, of course, Tenacity, we have Unbreakable, we have Plot Twist, and No Mither. And so yeah, we actually... Wait, we have Plot Twist, but I don't think we used it, so I'm not sure if we had to hook this. But the killer might have been scared of Unbreakable, which means they could have picked themselves up and go for the hook. But this is so unfortunate. Ghostly hitting second stage, and we don't really have that much gen progress bottom, so I don't know how much more we're going to be able to get done in this 3v1 at this point.
So unfortunately, I believe that our killer didn't know that the survivor that he killed earlier in the game was the unbreakable survivor. So I believe he picked that survivor thinking it would be unbreakable, and then it wasn't because it was kind of just a gamble at that point. But probably the smart idea if he wasn't able to have that information at his disposal. Ace is going to crouch tech just barely, it would seem, but is going to be down at the side of the map. We are going to see another survivor out on rotation. We heard the unhook come through just a moment ago, meaning that the other two survivors are somewhere nearby. They're not trying to finish that gen outside of the map at least yet. It could be going through in the next few seconds, but right now survivors are probably trying to rotate pretty slow as to not get caught by the hillbilly, and someone is going to be found up here at the top of the map near Crane. Crane pallet still up. This could take a little bit to bring down, but could be quite a curve by our Billy, and oh my god, what a beautiful curve by our hillbilly here, down in the Jake around the corner of the car, making sure not to hit that little extended car on its side, and just getting a hook here at the middle of the map, making it a 2v1 at 3 gens.
As our favorite 1v1 player would say, this buff, guys. This very buff. We are at 3 generators remaining, both injured. I mean, we need a miracle. I'm not sure. I think we saw a glimpse of the survivor hiding on the rock behind us over here. No, okay, they did actually just send it all the way to Shack, which sadly with Bamboozle is not going to give us that much more chase time. We do have Overdrive as well, so even running behind Shack is not safe against Sonic. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, nothing's safe. Nothing is safe against Sonic right now. We are seeing such a great display of Billy. Both macro-wise, he's not letting them pop those gens. And oh, we're actually seeing a nice little Mori. I forgot we're even allowed to bring that right now. That's just going to speed up the game a little bit faster. I mean, we can instantly close hatch. We're right on top of it. So yeah, I think that is just securing the 4K free already.
With a pretty short Mori like that, our last server is just going to need to plot twist and maybe just try to get out the gate. This Billy is just curving so wonderfully. I've never seen anything like it before in my entire life, but he is just going to need to use his ears and eyes and maybe find this last plot twisted survivor earlier than he is able to find a gate. It is going to be plot twisted, pretty much guaranteed, it would seem, but whether or not he actually opens a gate in time is maybe gonna be pretty close. He did plot twist in a safe spot, and our Billy is going to make a 50, but it's not really even a 50 because he can stand still and see both gates because this game's RNG is just so beautifully coded. Um, Seeing us forever out on rotation would be very, very easy at this point, but maybe Hanato's going to be able to slip by for a moment. We see a Crow just fly back down at this 4-lane variant, exactly where the Hanato is, being not careful enough to not scare them, but I think our Billy is going to find the server in the next few seconds here. We see some scratch marks, and yes, unfortunately, I believe our Hanato is found. This game is pretty much going to end in a 4K3 at this point, I believe, unless the Sonato can jiggy so hard the Billy loses him, but I think our Billy is a little bit smarter than that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much this is cooked. We're just gonna see if there's any 1v1 demons here. See how long we can get this nice chase going, because maybe get our mentals up a little bit. Sonic going for a nice 180, almost hitting. But we do actually just reach this card pallet, which is relatively safe. I mean, we can do some nice juking here. We can always bait hugging the cars and go wide. But instead of going main, do we get the flick? Yeah, we get the body block. Very well played. And we will be getting the down just before the timer ends here. And that is a quite a dominant performance. I really don't know what else to say, I guess.
What a good performance from our Billy, getting a kill so early into the game, getting a chainsaw curve in the first, like, maybe 15 seconds of the match.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here with the second Billy set of our matchup, Apoptosis versus Astraea. We have Plus back on the killer, and we're seeing a pretty similar build. We're only seeing the extra Undying as well. We're prioritizing our Ruin a bit more, which is, of course, a very important perk, especially uh, when looking at the current win con, which is a 4K4. Eggies, what do we need to see to get to that point? What is going to happen here?
We need to see some excellent plays here. We need to see our Billy getting a relatively quick down here in the next few seconds before much Gen Prog goes through. Last Billy got it down within his first Chainsaw Curve, I believe, but we do see some Ruin going through here. We have replaced something in our build with Undying here to make sure that Gen Regression stays up, and we need to make sure that these chases go pretty quick. First survivor we find is the No Mither, unfortunately, which means this down will be actually pretty fast. And this survivor will be going on hook soon. Survivors, though, if they're smart, are going to be playing for the win con and are just going to be cranking out two opposite gens on the map, making sure that they go.
Yeah, I mean that's why, as I said, I feel like the main thing survivors have to be careful for right now is just not farming Fern for no reason, which is sadly what we kind of saw last game. We saw the unhooks coming out a little bit too soon, especially the first unhook. I mean, yeah, okay. We still get the unhook soon, which is fine. Like it's a Billy set, and we're already committing someone else in a different chase, so you can unhook, but you definitely don't just want to farm them. But luckily, Apoptosis have a lot of coaches, so I think their macro side should be completely fine. Because I believe we checked, they have 13 people in VC. I don't even know how you can have 13 people in VC, but I hope the comms are a little bit more chaotic. Maybe that's what we need right now to get a win for our killer side. But we are getting a nice chase on Shack, getting the hook into basement. And the Ruin is just hopefully doing its job. I mean, we don't need to worry about resetting Fern. First generator is already popping, which is definitely upping the pressure, since that's the only gen we can let them pop right now.
We need to be so efficient here. We need to make sure gens do not pop at this moment. We need to make sure we find every gen the survivors are working on. We need to be pretty lucky with this game right here to make sure that survivors are not working in the right places. We need to find oh, our Undying Totem is going to go, but our Ruin is still going to be up. We need to find survivors working generators right now, and we just need to get them off no matter what, because no matter what, after this next gen pops, which looks like Ace is trying to do at the top of the map here, the game will be over.
Billy is rightfully looking for a potential savior, but Sonic selfed so far away from the basement that it's pretty much impossible to find him. He did a great job there, and we did see him going into basement. Unhook is coming out, so while we are chasing Shady, we still have another survivor on generators. He's cranking them, and some great jukes means we're forced to go back to the Unhook, which is a little bit less safe since Shack was already dropped, and we do have Bamboozle to outplay the Shack. But I mean, we still have to be just too cautious here. I feel like at this point we haven't checked the generators on 1 or 12 um, in too long, and I feel like we gotta realize that those are going to be highly progress, and we have to go back at some point. But for now, we are just committing a chase onto Lars, doing a great job. This tile is always very hard to play with M2s, and that's why we are swapping over to the M1, but Lars sending it just in time, makes another filler. Great potential curve coming out, but we've vault the pallet. We kind of lose the 50 there. And this Tri-Rock is also very strong. We actually have even more pallets. Almost coming out with another curve hit, but yeah, this chase is just not fast enough, sadly, which is... I mean, okay, it does come out fast enough, but the generator does, of course, pop. That is very unfortunate, and already... Okay, never mind. I was going to say the Tycon for Team Apoptosis, but that is the win con already reached, which means they have already taken the match 2-0, winning the second set as well. But of course, we're not done yet with this match. We got to see how much more we can get. We want to see what our best result is right now.
Unfortunately, this game is not over, but we still can, no matter what, play for the best result that we want to get, and then we just play for our own personal goal here. We know that Shack window is blocked, and Nia can't go back there to vault it in the next few seconds, but maybe right here we can get it down off a quick curve, but I think this tile is very hard to curve around. Those tires are just jutting out at such a perfect angle. We want to find another down pretty fast here, but we are going to maybe take a gamble here and look at the hook. Seeing that it's rotate near a 4 lane, we are going to be able to just barely somehow missed that pallet. I don't know how that happened, but normally that would have broken. We do see scratch marks running towards Shaq, and by this time the window has been unblocked. The survivor over here is going to be able to use it and vault, but it looks like they might not even want to. They're going to be running over to the 4 lane, maybe just trying to cut LOS and make sure that a heading chainsaw hit doesn't go through, but unfortunately it is going to come through right around the barrel, and this survivor is going to go right onto the hook, while the other survivors are most likely working gens. The moment survivor looks like in the killer's face here, though.
And yeah, we're definitely getting some hook stages, but we don't really have a ton allowed available. We don't know exactly where all the survivors are right now. We see a lot of progress, but the survivor has already pre-stealthed. Instant unhook coming out once again, so we will just be going back, which this might be a bit of a bait. It might mean they are actually doing the generator on the other side of the map as well. And I mean, no, Shack is also high progress. The survivors are just doing such a great job splitting these gens. They're never really getting caught off guard while the Billy is rotating, which is also very important. And they're not really getting found right next to each other as well. Funny little, funny little crouch by Fern right behind those lockers there. It's a little bit risky since if the Billy cancels chainsaw early enough, you will just go down. But actually, we're going down anyways. This is quite a fast chase. And we will just keep hooking these survivors now. And yeah, I reckon these last generators are just going to be popping. I mean, there was too much progress. We haven't checked that gen on 1 in so long, and that is the last generator popping, and probably some guaranteed outs at least.
Not a horrible Billy game for our Taylor here, but unfortunately the win column is just so tight and just so difficult to meet that it probably would have just taken a miracle in order to pull it off. 4K4 is just such an incredible win column from the last Billy that we saw play, and we see the unhook go through. Maybe we can get another little bit of a last survivor hook here this time. But this ace is fresh, meaning that it will be probably at the moment the most stages that we can get, but it is tenacity, unbreakable, and telly actually. So there's actually probably no way that that guy is not going to get out of the gate, unfortunately. Our killer here is going to look at the gate and maybe try to catch another off guard. Maybe go for this 4K zero here on a slugging play, but in the Billy step, there's so much anti-slug allowed that these survivors probably will be getting up in the next few seconds. Laurie going back on hook, and I believe this will be her death hook, but I'm not 100% sure. Otherwise, though, these survivors seem to be out of the gate.
And yeah, I mean, everyone will just be leaving. That Deli build is just too strong. Even if we hooked him, that would have been our fourth fresh, but as you said, he would have most likely just escaped anyways. And we are going out of this trial with not too many stages, but honestly, I think with these rule sets and how people have been playing recently, Billy is, I'm not sure, he's still an S tier killer, and you can see, as we saw, really high 4K results. But outs are definitely not unheard of, and even these low stages happen very often. So it's not something Astraea should be demotivated by. They still did a great job. And that sadly is already it for us today. We have no more matches for this evening. So, Eggs, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we head out for tonight?
No, just a very good gameplay from both of the teams here. I really like that Billy set. I really like the artist set. Some really good mastery on both of those killers, and we will be back, I believe, tomorrow with some other games. But thank you guys for watching for now.